journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Everybody, welcome to Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni on the Intertalk Radio Network. It's July 13th, lucky 13th, everybody. It's Wednesday, and I got to tell you, I am proud and privileged today to have a very good friend of mine, a longtime friend of mine, on my show, in my studio. That voice you just heard on the intro is none other than the amazing and iconic singer-songwriter, Grammy-nominated female for Best New Artist back in 1980 or 81, I believe. With that said, and also I've got to break to her. She's married to an amazing man, amazing friend. The gentleman's name is Michael McDonald. And with that said, I want everybody to welcome with open arms and open ears to Jackie's Groove. Please welcome my dear friend, Amy Holland. Amy, welcome, sweetheart.
Hey, Jackie, it's really you. Hi.
It's really you. It's really me. It's really us, girl. Hey, let's have a good time. Let's chop it up, and let's talk about everything Amy Holland, and let's talk about the album that my better half, Caprice, and I have obsessed over for the past 60 days. And her new release, Amy's new release, is a beautiful compilation of amazing tunes, and it's entitled A Light on My Path. And you guys have got to, you've got to get a hold of this, guys. You've got to go to iTunes or Amazon or wherever music's being sold today and buy this recording. You will thank me. Your heart and your ears will thank me. So with that said, let's get right into it. Amy, sweetheart, welcome, honey, welcome. I'm glad you're back home safe from your journey from Tennessee.
I am. Oh, well, it was a road trip. It was fun.
You know, you have to ask yourself, are we getting too old for these road trips? You know, when you ask yourself when you get home, you said, what the hell, why not?
Oh, no. My girlfriend and I was my roommate before my husband, and we did a pinky swear across the states that we're not telling anybody what went down on this trip. No, it was really fun. We just had a good time. That's the main thing.
And you know what? Let's educate the listeners. I mean, how do you take a 35, 40-year career and put it into 2 hours? But you know what? We're going to do this as best as we can. And these 2 hours, they're going to rock it by, as they always do. So with that said, let's talk about your humble beginnings and when you were born and raised. And in Palisades, New York, on May the 15th, I will not discuss the year because Mama said you never ask a woman her age.
You're so kind, so kind.
So let's talk about your humble beginnings. Let's talk about if they were humble, or
were humble.
Were you born a star?
But I was, I was born into a humble situation and with two musical parents. My mom sang in the 30s and 40s, and she started out doing more novelty records, kind of like funny, hillbilly kind of stuff.
Right.
And my dad was an opera singer, and they were very, very opposite. They were very different, so it was very colorful at my house.
They say opposites attract, am I correct?
That's what I hear.
I know about the McDonald/Holland family, but I want to let's talk about your two beautiful babies who aren't babies anymore, but let's talk about your daughter Scarlett, the youngest, and the rocker son of yours, Dylan, and I'll share some anecdotes with everybody about Dylan and my first experience. So, just talk about Dylan. Let's talk about Dylan first. Kind of educate people what he's doing right now.
He is completing his third album, and he is going for it. I'm wringing my dish rag, like a little old housewife going, oh my gosh. He goes, Mom, I don't have a plan B. And I said, then let's make plan A work, So I'm very proud of him. He's very talented. His songwriter skills have really, just gone up a notch every year, the last few years. And I'm just real proud of him. I hope for the best for him.
And Dylan, for those who don't know, Dylan's band is called Dylan McDonald and the Avians, and amazing situation. For those out there, let's not get confused about the last name McDonald. He sounds nothing like his father. He sounds so much like his mother and looks like Mama. And,
you think so?
I think so, and friends of ours have all said that itself. They're expecting Dylan to open his mouth and have that Michael sound, and it's not there.
No, he's got his own thing. His own thing going on.
Yeah, he's out with Pop right now. He's also helping Michael with his current tour right now, and
right. He works on the crew when he's not performing. So,
but he is doing
time together.
Yeah, but he is doing on certain occasions. He is opening up for Dad. Am I correct?
Yes, he just did a couple of nights ago. I'm not sure which nights, but
right.
There was 2 nights last week that he opened for him, or this weekend or something.
Yeah,
so,
definitely check out Dylan. He's amazing. He's got a huge career in front of him. I mean, that's obviously not too hard.
Thank you.
Well, it's not too hard to imagine when you come for those kind of genes. You know what I'm talking about? And let's talk about.
It opens the doors.
You know what? But it's up to them to walk through it and shut the door behind them. So
we can't do it for them.
Let's talk about the other beauty in your life. Her name is Scarlett.
Scarlett. She's a joy. She's the love of my life. I mean, so is Dylan. Don't get me wrong, but
right, of course.
I just have a special thing with my daughter. She's just one of these people that walks into a room and makes everyone feel special.
I emailed both of them about a half hour ago and said, don't forget about Mom's interview today, and I haven't heard back, so hopefully they're tuning in right now.
She's actually just leaving for school. She's finishing up college. She'll be finished in December. And Dylan, I don't know where he is right now. He's with Dad somewhere on the road. So.
Well, after the show is archived, I will send them a link so they can listen at their leisure, and as well as all the other listeners out there. Hey, girl, let's talk.
You.
No, please, honey. Thank you for being here. Hey, let's talk about, other than the beautiful instrument called your voice, does Amy play any other instruments at all?
I played guitar when I started playing when I was 12, and started trying to bang out some original material, which can only be, hysterical at best for back then. But I played guitar just well enough to accompany myself and write my little songs. And when I moved to L.A., I was surrounded by so much talent. I was intimidated, and I quit playing. And I tell you, I really regret that. So I talk about picking it up again and just getting someone to, run down the chords with me so I can write well enough. So I can play well enough to write on my own. Right now I co-write with a couple of guys, and I love it. I love these 2 writers, Bernie Cervelli and John Goodwin. And I've written with other people as well, but they, we just seem to have a thing together. But it would be helpful if I could play a little bit.
Well, Bernie's been part of your lineage and your husband's lineage for years, and he's an amazing guitarist and a great dude all the way around. And and I want to spend so much time again. As I said, there's so many albums that come out, and like a lot of the entertainers are nowadays, they're bringing out albums, and they're bringing out was before an EP. Now they're bringing out singles, and to see how they're being accepted and how they're being received.
Right.
But this album, A Light on My Path, is an amazing, amazing compilation of tunes that each one of those songs, to me, sounds different from the last. I mean, great writing. Oh, please, great writing on it. We've got your husband, Michael McDonald, on the album.
Right.
Dylan's on the album. You've also got David Crosby. You've got Mr. Williams from Toto, Joseph. And David Pack also, which when you hear this album, it's overly and utterly impressive. And one of my favorite songs is a song, We Are All Strangers Here. And we're going to be playing that a little bit later on. And it's a song that I suggest you get a box of Kleenex, because when you're in our advanced
you're
age.
You're a woman, for sure.
Yeah, well, then I must be a woman, because I'm the first one that heard it and first one that cried in the family. So
Aw.
It hits home. It really hits home. So, and Amy, we're going to be doing, which seems long, but it's not. It's we're doing eight segments of 12 minutes each with 3-minute commercials. So if I do interrupt you at any time, a latter part of this segment, it's only because the clock is ticking down and I don't want to cut you off. So
I get it. No problem.
And so again, we have so much more music. We're gonna talk about how I'm gonna bend your husband's arm and have them go out and have you open up for the show. It's I know how popular you are in Europe, but we've got to get this out to the people in the United States. I mean, my God, the man, come on, the man, like I said before, when we got together in Newport Beach a few weeks ago, Jesus, the man sleeps with you. It's the least he can do is hire you. And
he sleeps with me when he's home.
Oh, there you go. When he's home, exactly.
Right.
So, but it's going to go on, and we're going to talk about one of my favorite movies and a song that was one of my favorite songs from that movie. And I'll give a little teaser right now. It's "Say Hello to My Little Friend" movie back in the early '80s, and we're going to talk about that hit on there. So. I just listened to it about 15 minutes ago. Your voice sounds like Amy, but a higher pitch, and it's unmistakable. And I was shocked to find that was you when I read the liner credits. So with that said, everybody, don't go anywhere. We're actually trailing off segment number 1, going into segment number 2 with my in-studio guest, the lovely and talented singer-songwriter, Miss Amy McDonald, or Mrs. Amy McDonald. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be right back after this short break. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at which.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, which.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Tonight was black and blue. This overcoat won't do. It's falling all apart. When I left you, I must have left my heart. My feet are stumbling. I'm all alone in the dark. When I left you, I must have left my heart.
Yeah, man, I must have left my heart. That's from the voice of my in-studio guest today, Miss Amy Holland. Amy, that song, yeah. I love it. I feel like I'm in a New York speakeasy. There's smoke floating everywhere in the air, and it's just you in a nightgown. How's that? In a beautiful gown, and with the drummer, just with the brushes, and just getting that into that groove itself. What was the genesis of that beautiful song?
If I'm not mistaken, now Fred Mullen and I, the producer, started a record together about 26 years ago. And I'm not sure if that's one. No, I'm sorry. The other one that he wrote on the record. It's written by a man in Toronto named Mark Jordan, very talented artist himself, right. And just completely gifted songwriter. And I fell in love with that song. Fred's a great song man, and he brought me that song. And it was like, I want to do that. That's grown up. That sounds like a grown up song.
How long ago was that? How old is that song?
You know, I was wrong about him bringing me that song. I don't know how old it is, and I'm not sure if Mark cut it himself. But when I heard it, I just fell in love with it, and I, always wanted to do something in that feel.
Well, music like that is timeless. So I mean, there's no timeline on great ballads, if you will, jazz ballads right. Like that. So it's a great song all the way around. Who is on that track? Do you remember who actually tracked that with you? Who's on drums and such?
Actually, well, I'm trying to think of everybody that played on it. I know on drums it was Greg Morrow, who's amazing.
Right.
And I'm thinking on Larry Paxton played the bass. He played upright and regular bass on the record. So, and then Pat Coyle, who plays with Michael on the road, who's just an amazing keyboard player.
Hey, Amy, do me a favor. Tell the listeners out there how long this album took to put together. The little joke that you tell me about every time that you had a new album coming out, that you would have another baby. How far back? Right. How far back does this album go?
I'll tell you, I did not have another baby when we were making this one. So
good girl. That
would have been, the Immaculate Conception. But it, from beginning to end, listening to songs, choosing the songs, it was roughly close to a year, not quite, but a year.
Right.
And we did live in Nashville. We're now based out of Santa Barbara, and so when we got ready to do the album, Fred said, well, we're going to do it in Nashville. I went, of course. I lived there 20 years. We couldn't do it then. But anyway, it was really fun, and I certainly, have a lot of friends and family there. So we did the record in Nashville, and some of it at our studio, and some of it on Music Row. So
were you actually in Nashville for 20 years?
Well, I think maybe I was not quite there that long. My kids stayed a little longer than I did. I was there at least 17 or 18 years. I lost track.
Well, California welcomes you home. There's nothing like California, especially in the area that you're living in. It's beautiful. You know, we live in California for a reason, obviously. That's why we pay higher prices than anybody does across the nation. So.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But it's all well and good. Hey, girl, you know, as we talked about earlier, you have a great following in Europe. And why is that?
Well, you know, I'm not really sure. I've been sort of corresponding with a lot of internet DJs back and forth this year, and because they were playing my music, and you know, I just started getting a rapport with a lot of people there, and because of them, acquired a new group of fans from over there, and it's been really fun. It's been fun talking to the DJs themselves on, you know, online, and also some of the fans that I've gotten to meet online. It's been a wonderful experience, you know, talking to somebody in Holland because I'm Dutch. And
there you go.
You know, somebody in Italy, come, I'll show you my town. Yes, I'll go.
Exactly.
So, you know, it's just been really fun. But as you know, the business is different, and since I was really active in the old days, it's really changed. So my challenge now is to reach the people here.
You know, and I hope we can be instrumental in this itself, because Jackie's Groove and Intertalk Radio, we are worldwide, and once you get your show archived, I mean, that is there. That's just like recording an album. It's there for, hopefully, for generations to come, so people can always type in Amy Holland, and it's going to revert back to our interview. So we want to give the listeners, we want to give the listeners as much information as they can, because look, it's all about promotion, and on Jackie's Groove, it's all about keeping it real, and that's what it's all about. Plus, you know, I have a kinship with you guys. We go back a long way. I consider you family. And in this situation called the music business, I hate using those two words in the same line, music and business, because that's when it gets kind of convoluted, you know. But we have to play the game, you know. And I don't want to say anybody's been disillusioned by the industry, but the industry is changing. It used to be it would change every 10 years, but it's been changing every year. And I firmly believe, like when I was talking to Michael, I know he likes to be called Mike. Will the industry come back again? Well, I know a lot of entertainers, a lot of artists are bringing back their releases on vinyl, and hopefully that's going to be somewhat of a push to get back and teach the youngins out there, you know, what the music business and the record business was all about when they were coming up. You know, and I want to believe that it's going to be there. I want to believe that people that are in their older years, like myself, that we don't have to go out and spend 150 days to 200 days out of the year to feed our family. You know, we got to get back to album sales. And,
I agree.
So how do you? So with that said, how does Amy? What are your feelings? How are you going to make your stand and your change? Are you going to be bringing A Light on My Path out on vinyl? Is there any request for that at all?
I requested it. So at some point we are going to press some vinyl, and you know, in my dad's later years, he was a mastering engineer, and he brought vinyls home all the time, test pressings of all the records that were out, you know, that were popular when I was growing up. And so, you know, but my son is 27, 28, I don't know how old he is. Anyway, he said, Mom, there is really a difference, you know.
Oh,
and
of course.
He hears the difference between a CD or whatever and the vinyl. And somebody recently said, you know, hey, just in the days that we were listening to our albums, even hearing the needle going across the record, that was part of the personality, I think, you know?
And not only that, but it was that little velvet apparatus we used to hold in our hands, and we used to clean the disc off before the needle would drop on it, would pull any any dust and such off. And just that whole vibe of pulling the shrink wrap off the album cover and actually holding a large 12 by 12 in your hands, if that was the measurements, and pulling out the sleeve. And the whole idea was to keep vinyl good, is to put it back in that sleeve. And for people out there that collect vinyl like I have, is to see how pristine that paper sleeve still is. And I think you remember, old enough to remember, too, the paper sleeve turned into a plastic sleeve at one time. But it was just that whole thing on a liner notes, if you will, on a CD. Well, those liner notes were actually on the back. That's how big these albums were, that they were there in almost everything.
They could be all on the back, yeah.
Absolutely. And that was, and again, Yeah, and that's why we need to get it back. And you're really, really hip if you had an album that opened up, right to left. In fact, I spent last weekend with my dear friend, a friend of yours also, the great drummer Chris Imboden from Chicago, who worked with Michael for years also. And after the show, I was sitting there and I was playing A Light on My Path for Chris, and some of the guys came up and they wanted to know who that was. So I said, hey, you guys, you know what? This is the album. It's called A Light on My Path.
Thank you.
And so they all dug and they said, wow, that's music that's just not being played anymore. And I said, well, it's being played now. So Tris sends his love to you, and as he said,
great.
Godspeed. Yeah, it was really, really cool hanging out with him and all the guys in Chicago. So, they're out there and they're still killing it. And I want to talk about more too, because it's inevitable. We're going to talk about your husband and how he's killed it, and the relationship that you've had and backing him up on vocals. And we'll get more in tune with that too, as we're starting to move out of segment number 2. Do you see how fast it's going? So
That's right.
And there's just so much more information itself. So, guys, we get back. We're going to be playing more snippets, and I said schnippets of Amy's new release.
Behave myself
yes,
too.
A Light on My Path. No, don't behave yourself, honey. This is not terrestrial radio. You can say what you want to say. And so when we're trailing out of segment number 2 into segment number 3, this is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove with my in-studio guest, the lovely, the talented, the ever-vivacious Miss Amy Holland. Amy, get ready. Get your thinking cap on. We're going to pick up some history here coming up. And
right.
you guys don't want to go anywhere. There's much more ahead. So there's that music. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after the short message. Don't go anywhere.
Stick around.
Here we go, girl.
Okay.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
We all have our burdens, we all have our cares, and mine are no bigger than any of theirs. But I'm lost and I'm drifting like a train off the tracks. Oh Lord, shine a light on my path. I just want to see where my feet ought to go, to be sure that I'm traveling down the right road. I try hard not to ask for anything if I can. I do it myself.
What a beautiful song. That song is called Light on My Path, from the album called A Light on My Path, from my in-studio guest today, Miss Amy Holland. Hey, guys, a little bit of business ahead of time. This is Jackie Bertoni. You're tuning in to Jackie's Groove. We're on segment number 3, and we are brought to you by Intertalk Radio. We're definitely your music industry insider. And you guys, we all have to say thank you very much to our sponsors, the people that keep this crazy ship afloat. And I'm going to take a couple seconds to say hello to all of our friends at Optimal Body Fitness, who are keeping their brother Jackie in shape. And you can reach David and Kendra and, excuse me as I choke there, Maria and Darren at optimalbodypf.com. Also, SIR, Studio Instrument Rentals. Amy, I'm sure we've all used them many a times. And that's SIR-USA.com for all of your backline and studio rehearsal needs. And our dear friends at Pitbull Audio, Calvin Lee and the Motley Crew. And you can reach them at pitbullaudio.com, where, you know, their motto is, we just want you to play it loud. And people that I'm most biased to, my heavy-duty sponsors, Vader Percussion, who's been handling my drumsticks for the past 19 years. DW Drum Workshop. You can reach them at dwdrums.com. And that's Don Lombardi, that's John Good, and also Derek Zimmerman. Guys, thank you very much for being part of this. And, of course, my favorite, which is LP Music, who I've been with them going on 27 years, the ones that provide all of the percussion rig to Jackie Bertoni and Parkwood Studios. So with that said, guys, you know what? Welcome back with open arms and just and open ears to my in-studio guest, the amazing vocalist, my dear friend, Miss Amy Holland. Amy, are you there, girl?
I am right here.
Sorry about the business part, honey, but you know how that is. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I'm outside. I got a golden retriever next to me. All's good.
Is that Henri?
Henri, yes.
Yes,
my daughter's dog.
Yes, give Henry a kiss for us, please.
Absolutely. I have given him many all through your intermission there.
I gotta send you pictures of our girl, Gingy. She's now discovered how to swim underwater in the pool, which, and she's loving it. Can't tell her no, so she's super dog, exactly. Hey, girl, let me ask you this question, getting back to what we're talking about. Who were your influences growing up musically, and who are your influences today? I guess my listeners want to know this.
Well, honestly, my first influence was my mother, because, I mean, I look exactly like her now, and, well, I always did. And then she was such a force in my life musically, and her records were so much fun, especially, you know, her younger years. She did sort of a hillbilly shtick and braided her hair, and somebody said she even blacked out a tooth back in the old days, which I don't do that, but the break in her voice, you know, the same break that a lot of artists like Joni Mitchell, Sarah McLachlan, people like that. I grew up, that's how I learned how to sing, and when I would change keys, I broke my voice. That's how I did it. You know, they used to call my mom the woman with a hole in her voice. Well, now I call it, you know, a break or a yodel, whatever you want to call it. So I just always sang that way, and so she was a major influence. And then Aretha Franklin, Joni Mitchell, Carole King, most recently I love Adele.
Yes.
there is a young woman, and I'm trying to get somebody to tell me her name. She's amazing. Somebody I just heard recently. But
you mean Britney Spears?
How did you know?
Yes, I know. Of course, I had to say that with sarcasm there.
For her, but that wasn't who I was talking about. But anyway, there have been so many people along the way. You know, even a lot of background vocalists that I've met that have influenced me. And you know, you mentioned Joseph Williams. I think Mike toured with Toto a couple of years back, and Joseph blew me away. His voice is so amazing. And at that time, I was sitting around my little empty nest going, okay, now what? You know, and I heard him sing, and then you mentioned the song, We're All Strangers Here.
Right.
That was a song that I felt like I needed to do that song. So anyway, I'm getting off track, but those are some of my influences, and I'm sticking to it.
Hey, let me ask you a question. It's going to maybe be a strange question because I'm strange, but does Amy Holland like Amy Holland's voice?
When it's in key, when I'm on spot, yeah, I do like it. Certain songs I do better than others. I think I tend to be a little more successful with ballads.
Right.
But I do love up-tempo stuff, too, as well. And I love all genres of music. You know, I could pick something from everything that I like. You know, every genre that there's something in there for me in all of them.
You know, we talked in Newport. I'm going to refer back to the Newport Jazz Festival when we were hanging out before Mike's show. We talked about one of my favorite concerts that was done. I think it was The Gathering of Friends with Michael and Christopher Cross, and I think Jeff Bridges was the host. And you were up on the riser singing with a vocalist who I haven't heard for a while, but I love your voice, Miss Kim Carnes. Have you talked to Kim at all lately?
Actually, we have been phone tagging each other. I haven't seen her in a while, and I got a message from her, and I tried to call her back, and we just have missed each other. But she's a great girl. She's really fun. And her husband, Dave, they're just great people.
It's just so cool how the longevity here is. We have a mutual friend of ours, Terry Woolman, a great guitarist, and he also covered Mike's tune, Our Love. Terry is actually coming onto the network with his own show. I brought him on the network. It's called Making It with Terry Woolman, and he's going to be doing a show that's going to be talking about the aesthetics of writing and arranging and such in the studio. And his first guest is going to be Melissa Manchester. And, which I'm excited because he just produced Melissa's new album, and it's amazing. And
great! I love that.
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's a great thing what we're doing here in Jackie's Groove. We're just we're all about the emerging artists on our other shows, but this Jackie's Groove is all about the people who have already made it. And we had talked. Mike and I had talked because we did that small little impromptu in Newport Beach, but it wasn't long enough. I mean, I've been talking to Mike. We're going to be doing another 2-hour interview because people had 1,000 questions to ask, and the haters out there, for the when Mike took over the Doobie Brothers, et cetera. So we're going to give the people out there that have discerned a chance for Michael to give a rebuttal. Not that Michael gives a shit about it at all, but it is what it is. For everybody for every 10 people that love the situation, there's 50 people that can't stand it. So you have to address that, and I love to challenge stuff like that. So we're going to get more into that. With the situation of your influences, you said you like all genres of music. Is there a type of music that you really don't care about?
Well, I would probably be very unpopular saying this, but
say it.
I don't quite get hip hop. It's a little too repetitive for me.
No argument here.
It's just it's just not my thing. But if it works for other people, I mean that's what and it's to me it's not so much music as it is I don't know what it is, but it works for a lot of people. But it I'm just old school. I love a melody. I love a beautiful melody. I love a groove. I love, I love any kind of soul music, obviously. But, but that's what works for me. That speaks to me. So I think, whatever music speaks to you, whatever it is, it's good.
I love that Scarlett.
Work for me.
I love Scarlett put up on her Facebook because it's a small little video of Mike standing in front of a clock. on the wall, and it's got the word...
My mother's clock, yeah.
Yeah, it's got the word regulator on the end of it. And for people out there who not familiar, Warren G., a great hip-hop artist, one of the old-school OGs, actually covered, and you sampled Michael's tune, I Keep Forgetting. And and that whole vibe about Warren yelling out, regulator, and to have Mike standing in front of the clock.
I never thought of it.
Oh, it's hysterical. Michael doesn't say a word. All he does is he points to the word regulator, then he walks off of camera. And and for the younger set out there, friends of mine, they didn't realize that was Michael McDonald. You know, and of course their parents said, "Are you crazy?" I mean, that was the whole situation. So,
it was the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, that's the fun thing about that. And it's, you know, again, everything old is new again. I mean, old music, and we talked about when they parodied Mike on The Family Guy, and as your husband said, you know you've made it when people can make a comedy reference of you, of your career. So we're going to talk more about it's going to talk more about the McDonald and the Holland family. Girl, we're going out of 3 into 4. It's moving by real quick. So we've got much more music to talk about. We've got much more anecdotes to talk about with family, and what it's going to take to bring Amy Holland. I don't know if you ever stepped out of the limelight, but we're going to put that shining star above you, where you deserve to be put in front and center her. I'm biased. I'm a fan. So with that said, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to move out of 3. We're going into 4 with my in-studio guest, the beautiful Amy Holland. You guys don't go anywhere. And this is Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, brought to you by Intertalk Radio. Stay tuned. There's much more to go on. Talk about. Peace.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear. Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. Vin Village connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. Vin Village is where wine lovers connect.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Everybody, welcome back. Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, Wednesday, July 13th, on a song called Walking on a Wire by my in-studio guest, the lovely Tammy. Holland Amy, I love that song. Actually, that featured Joseph Williams, as we talked about before. What is
That's right.
What's the story behind that song? One of my favorite ones on the album.
Well, it was co-written by a really dear friend of mine, Dan Navarro, who wrote, with his partner years ago, wrote We Belong for Pat Benatar.
Right.
And I had just kind of reconnected with him through Facebook and decided to look up YouTube and see what he was doing. And I heard, wait a minute, I'm talking about the wrong, no, that's right, Walking on Wire. I heard that song and saw him perform it a couple of times. And I called him, I said, hey, you want to help me get a key on that? I'm headed to Nashville to start tracking, and I'd love to play them that. And so we met up. I stayed at a hotel near the airport the night before my flight, and he came down, we got a key, and there you have it. And I love that song. I really do.
It's got such
of course, to get Joseph to say yes to sing on it was wonderful. And then last minute, there was a part missing that I kept hearing that was on the original record. And Joseph was way on the road. They were out for a long time. So I called my son. He goes, sure, I'll come do it. So that was fun.
How cool is that to be recording with Dylan, to have your baby, your blood on the album, let alone, forget Mike, but just to have your son alone playing on this.
It's
got to warm your heart. You know what's really, really cool? When we were sitting back in the hotel room in Newport, and you and Caprice and Mike and we were sitting down talking, kind of doing this little pre-interview, and I had asked your husband, and I asked you, actually I asked Mike right together, I said, do you still like going on the road? And Michael said, you know what? I don't like traveling. I don't like to travel anymore, But I thought it was just so apropos for that. It's like a lot of entertainers. Our mutual friend Henry Capono, Henry has same situation. He enjoys it, doesn't enjoy the traveling as much, but he's doing it because he's keeping his band working, and that's what Michael said. Michael goes, "I want to keep my band working."
That's right.
That is so selfless. That is so selfless. And what I love is, Mike, when we were sitting each other on the chair. Or on the sofa, Mike looked at me. He says, Jackie, I really would just love to be able to sit back in the hotel room all day long and just talk, and I thought that was a compliment to me. But I got to tell you, as soon as that man walked out on stage from the first note, I mean, to tell you something, there's a lot of old people in that audience, and I'm one of the old people. And I got to tell you, from that first chord that was struck, that man had them in his back pocket from the beginning to the end when he walked off. So, no, he may not enjoy the travel, but boy, I tell you, when he gets on stage, he turns back into a 30-year-old man again. He's got his voice.
Well, he loves that part. He
yeah,
really does.
and I would just, again, I'm not patronizing you, but I would just love to see you singing with your husband, just adding that voice behind it. I mean, Miss Monet is amazing, but I know it's all based upon money and so on, but it would be nice to have another female voice backing him.
Oh, thanks. Well, I do that from time to time. We do.
Not enough.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Hey, let's talk something about that's near and dear to our heart, because when Caprice and I pulled up to Newport, look at, like I said, Michael, I've known Michael since 1990, but I'm still a fanboy. I'm a huge fan of Michael's, huge fan of yours. And when we came up to Newport Beach, there was a circle jerk, for the lack of a better word. I've never seen more people in the Hyatt. And when I pulled up, Michael looked up and he said, "Jackie, over here." And it's so funny because he's the most humble cat. And getting anybody who's humble, including yourself, to talk about themselves is it can be a challenge. They don't want to talk about their greatness, and that's the beautiful part about being humble. But as I scooted up to you guys, and I'm looking at all the people sitting around just gawking at Michael and yourself and so on, and how can you not? Michael's got a face that you just don't forget, and especially for the fact that he was the headliner in the show. And he said, "You want to do the show out here?" And I said, "No, actually, no, because I don't want people bothering you." Right. But it was sitting there, and we did something, and we do something that we love to do, and I always talk about Caprice about this too. So I'm going to ask you, when we pulled up, you guys were noshing on pita bread and hummus and a salad and so on. With that said, what does Amy love to put in her tummy?
Oh, boy. I like Fritos and lobster.
What a combo.
I like fruit. I like my Thanksgiving dinner that I make. Right. And I never met a food I didn't like, actually.
Is there coming back to California and then back to Nashville, is there a restaurant that just beckoned your name when you came home?
Oh, when I came home to Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
Well, they had a lot of new restaurants that had come in. There's a new one called The Lark that's amazing. And there are a couple of Italian restaurants. Oh, gosh, now I'm going to blank. One is in Montecito. Okay. We like eating at Trattoria Vittoria on Victoria Street. So if you can figure that out.
5 times fast, exactly.
And then there's fabulous Mexican food, really good sushi. We really have everything here. There's a great Greek restaurant. Like I said, I'm not real picky.
Sweetheart, speaking of Santa Barbara, I'm gonna make an invitation to you this coming Saturday. What is that date? That's going to be the 19th, 18th. No, that's a lie. That's going to be 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th. Okay, well, it's going to be the 16th, Saturday. Look at your calendar. Henry is going to be doing a solo performance up in your neck of the woods. He's playing at a beautiful little place called Soho.
Oh, right down in like 10 minutes from there. You're
kidding. And he's just doing a solo situation. Just Henry Capono and an acoustic guitar playing all of the hits. And if you want to go, let me know, sweetheart. I'll get you front row and center.
I really want to go. I haven't seen him in a couple of years, and I would love to see him there.
Yeah, we just Henry was on. We did a show from the corporate headquarters yesterday. We had an amazing time. We went out, we did the best. Went to a place called Indigo Grill in Little Italy in San Diego, and we did what we love to do the most, and that was called eating. And and so I mean that's the kind grind, as they say. So yeah, Henry would love to see you, and I'll get everything handled with Leslie. And if I know for sure you want to go, let me know how many people you want to go. And I will get I will get you the passes, sweetheart, as always.
I'll try to get a date. My main date's on the road, so
I know.
I'll have to get a stand-in, but I would love to go.
Yeah, let me know after the show. I'll call you and just let me know how many people you need, and I'll get that handled for you. And Henry would love to see you.
Oh, great. Thank you. I'd love to see him, too.
So with that said, hey, girl, can you believe it? We're already out of 4 segments. The first hour of a 2-hour interview, we haven't even scratched the surface with this amazing girl, this one, the humble woman and the beautiful lady that she is, my in-studio guest, Miss Amy Holland. Well, the $20 that you paid me is going a long way, sweetheart. And so when we get back on segment number 5, we're going to take a little bit of an elongated break between 4 and 5. So if you have to use the girls' room, Amy, now's the time to do it. Regroup the computers. And when we come back, we're going to talk more to Amy about A Light on My Path with my in-studio guest, Amy McDonald, Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, Intertalk Radio. Guys, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after this elongated break.
Right on.
It'll be worth the wait.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs. Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at whichwich.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, whichwich.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
When he looks at me tonight, I don't know if the shade of lipstick is quite right. There's something in his eyes, brighter than a fire. Guess it's the reflection of my own desire. We're all searching for each other as we stare into the mirror, afraid of what we'll find, and living with the fear that we're wrong. Strangers here. Those children drove me crazy after school today. Do something with that hair. Is that a strand of gray? I feel as though I'm floating on a rising tide. I don't want you to see things I cannot hide. We're all searching for each other as we stare into the mirror, afraid of what we'll find, living with the fear that we're wrong. Strangers here.
Wow. That song, if that doesn't pull on your heartstrings, then you're missing a heart, my friends. We Are All Strangers Here from my in-studio guest, Miss Amy Holland. A song called We Are All Strangers Here from A Light on My Path, her new release. That is amazing. I got to tell you, that song chokes me up every time I hear it, especially the fact as you're getting older. I'm telling you, girl, you know what? I was talking to Mike and yourself, and that was a song actually that your husband penned, 10 years ago, he said?
At least 10 years ago with Danny O'Keefe.
I couldn't imagine anybody singing that other than a female.
I know, but it's so amazing that two men wrote that song because it kind of tells my story actually, but or every woman's story. You wake up one day and you go, I'm 16 inside, but the mirror's telling me something else, and it's something to deal with,
It
Not
reminds
spend
me.
too much time, but
It reminds me of a song. Excuse me for jumping in. It reminds me of a song that was written by Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. A song called "Caroline No." I don't know if you remember that tune, but it was all about.
I do. Beautiful.
I had the pleasure of redoing that song on a Beach Boy album called "Stars and Stripes," and Timothy Schmidt from the Eagles sang the vocals. Yeah, Timothy sang the lead vocals on that, and
cool.
it's for the listeners out there, Caroline No. It's just all about a woman or a man's promise never to change, never to get old. Never to look old or whatever it may be. So when I heard this song, We Are All Strangers Here, it really brought up some great memories. The fact that when you do look in the mirror, I'm going on 33 years of marriage. You and Michael have been married for 33 years. Correct me if I'm wrong. And you know what?
Absolutely.
And we've been through hell and back. There's 1 minute you're loving, next minute you want to strangle the person. But I can't imagine going to bed or waking up with another woman. That's my life. But when we look in the mirror, especially for women, do they still look good to us? My God, my wife looks better to me every single day we wake up, even when her hair's up in a fountain and she has no face on. It doesn't get better.
Sweet.
Well, I'm serious, and that's the way it goes. So when I hear that about, another strand of gray, my mama always said growing up, my mom used to dye her hair like women did. But my mom, as she got older, she let the gray come in, and she always used the term by saying, I earned every fucking one of those gray hairs.
That's right, honey. You got that right.
And she let it go, and so, with that said, and I love the line about, the kids came home, they made you crazy. I want to step back for a second, because when I got hired by Henry Capono and your husband to do an album called Same World, a song that was written and produced by Michael and Henry, yes. And when I went to the studio, it was your husband had it blocked off for me, and I had walked into the studio, and in the studio was this little spinning top by the name of Dylan. This kid was bouncing off the walls, and it reminded me of my.
That's a nice way. I call him a chimpanzee on acid.
Exactly, and I love it. Michael kept saying to me, Jackie, I'm sorry, I said, hey, I've got a Dylan at my house. My godson, my nephew Christopher, was the same way, and they exemplified the word ADHD. But I looked at Dylan, and I walked over to Dylan. I gave him a pair of drumsticks, and I gave him a pair of little egg shakers. And that little chimpanzee on crack just retreated to the corner of the studio and just played. And your husband walked up to me and said, "You don't have any kids?" I said, "No." And he goes, and I said, "Doesn't matter." I said, the music, tamed the average, the average beast. And to see, your son now. In fact, when I saw him last year at the wineries, I walked up and gave him a pair of drumsticks and a pair of shakers. And he goes,
so great.
And he said to me, he goes, "Uncle." That's when you know you're old, when your kids call you uncle. he said, and that's just the respect for, anybody's intertwined with Hawaii. But he says, you know what, oddly enough, even though I think I was 5 years old, I remember that day. And so, and to be part, getting older and being thankful for life every day and watching, even though we don't have children, but we're godparents 7 times over, and watching your babies grow up and seeing them, and how they've turned out and so on. But, that's all a matter of parenting, great parenting. And I see that, and your hearts have got to be filled with joy just to know that your kids are doing it. They're not spoiled little brats. They could be, but right. I don't see the parents allowing to do that itself. And speaking of spoiled little brats, let's talk about Amy in the earlier years. How's that for a segue?
I wasn't a spoiled brat. I can tell you that.
It's okay, but I wanted to throw that to you anyways.
That's okay.
In 1981, you were nominated for a Grammy for the Best New Artist on a song called "How Do I Survive." Do you remember the day?
1980.
Was it 80?
I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. If you interrupt, I'm going to fire my people who are doing the work
back
here.
You know what? Somebody recently said, was it 82? So I might be the crazy one. So don't fire anybody yet, okay?
I'm not in that position. I'll be fired before anybody else does. But it was on the Billboard Hot 100. Do you remember when you got that notification that you were actually nominated for Best New Artist? What was that feeling? Share with us.
Oh, my gosh. It was unbelievable. It was a childhood dream. So, I came to California when I was 15 years old to try to make it in the business, and there I was at whatever I was. I can't remember if I was 26 or what. I don't know what I was. Whatever I was, it was an amazing honor. And everybody says, "Well, is it a drag when you don't win?" Well, yeah, a little bit, of course, but no. I mean, it's such an honor to be listed. And a dear friend of mine won the Grammy that year. It was Christopher Cross. And he certainly deserved it. He had, 2 #1 records, I believe.
It's so funny. I can't get, and both of them being my friends, Christopher and David Pack, and I couldn't get the two of them to pour water on me if I was on fire right now. I've asked them twice to the show. I even said, and it's just like, and some people just don't want to be interviewed. And, I've sent pictures of the two of us together, meaning David and myself, and a picture of Chris and myself, and I just know I felt like the little redheaded stepchild that's not getting the respect. So I'm going to call Mr. Sailing up and let him know that his Grammys were back in '80, and to get over himself. So, but with that said, I want to talk about when we come back. I can't believe this time is just blowing by. I want to talk about your beautiful album, one of my favorite albums, also in 2008, called "The Journey to Miracle River."
Journey to River, yeah,
right. And it's actually a CD, an album produced by Bernie Chevarelli.
Right.
And it's one of those CDs that I had in the archives. I pulled it back up when I'm doing my homework on there. So I want to kind of get back more into that. And then, of course, one of my favorite songs is we're going to be pulling up the next couple segments from one of my favorite movies. Again, I still can't believe that was you. So we're going to talk more about that. Hey, girl, I want to talk about, the situation we were talking about when you got nominated for the Grammy. You and Michael, you weren't married as of yet, but were you guys going out at that time?
Yes, we were. We weren't quite married yet, but we were very involved and in love, and we did the whole record together. And then when the record was finished, my first album, we were together, and we've been together ever since.
From your lips to God's ears, girl.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. Hey, you know what? We're going to be coming out of 5. I'm just it's like I said again, friends of mine tell me that time flies when you're actually having a great interview, and I think we're having a fun time here. And,
yeah.
And you guys, if you're listening to this, and when you listen to this, do me a favor, spread the word about Jackie's Groove. I mean, we're doing something that nobody's doing. We're doing this worldwide, and we're keeping it on the real, and we're really, really privileged. And because of people like I have on the studio today on my show, Amy Holland, she's the reason for our success, and it's only going to get stronger and stronger. So when we come back on segment number 6 out of a 2-hour interview, we're going to pick it up of all Amy's past career and the stuff that's currently out on the marketplace, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after a short break with Amy Holland, Jackie Bertoni on Jackie's Groove Intertalk Radio. Stay tuned.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs. Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page, mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Has your business been appified? Are you tired of doing marketing that doesn't deliver results? Mobile apps build loyalty and quality retention. Your app from UPG Mobile puts your business on their mind and at their fingertips. UPG Mobile will give you a custom app highlighting how you are unique, targeting your message, and improving your open rates. Appify your business and amplify your presence with your customers at upgmobilemarketinggroup.com.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
All right, everybody, welcome back. This is Jackie Bertoni, and this is Jackie's Groove, brought to you by the Intertalk Radio Network. Hey, guys, segment number 6 with my in-studio guest, the lovely and talented Amy Holland. And do yourselves a favor and do us a favor. When you guys have a chance, go on to iTunes or Google Play and download our easy-to-use and navigate application. 2 words, Intertalk, first word, radio, second word, and take Intertalk Radio and Jackie's Groove and all of our shows on the road with you and wherever you're on the go. Definitely something that we'd appreciate, something you'd appreciate also. And so, like I said again, Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove. Hey, let's talk about that song we just heard just now. A song from one of my favorite all-time movies, actually a movie favorite of Al Pacino himself, and a great remake of a movie called Scarface. And he was in the Actors Studio, and he said out of all the films, that Scarface was definitely his best performance. And I want you guys to stop back for a second. Here's what of a nerd I am. That was a scene with Michelle Pfeiffer dancing on a dance floor at a place called the Club Babylon. And believe it or not, they had you believing that this movie was shot in Miami. Most of the movie was shot in Los Angeles, so there's a little spoiler right there. And again, forgive me for being a movie nerd. And she's dancing on the dance floor, and she's got this beautiful skin tight, silky dress, and she's dancing, and she's looking up in the disco ball, and she's got an attitude on him. And Al Pacino walks over in his little suit, and he starts dancing around like a little chicken humping a dog's leg, and he starts being very forward with her, and he says, what's your name? And he starts talking to her, and the music behind it is a song called She's on Fire. I never knew this was Amy Holland on this song. And so with that said, me talking to a dear friend on one of my favorite movies and a song I had no idea she was even part about that. When you heard yourself and you saw yourself on the silver screen, if that's where you saw the movie, what were your feelings of hearing yourself singing to those film giants in front of you?
Well, to tell the whole story, I was still in a state of being horrified because Mike and I went to the movies and we took our moms with us.
Oh my God!
I'm like, Mom, I'm in a movie. You ought to come. And his mother came and my mom came and we're sitting through. And anyone who's seen the movie, I don't know how many people would take their mothers to it, right? So I'm all excited to hear myself, but then I'm seeing all the stuff going on, the sex and the drugs and the rock and roll and all that. And I'm just going, oh my gosh, make this be over. But it was thrilling. It was absolutely thrilling. And who knew it would become, such a cult film, really. I made a lot of points with my kids' friends.
Well, let me ask you this question. Did you have any, other than your voice, were you actually in the crowd shots at all, out of curiosity?
No, I was not in the movie at all.
Because, you did a lot of soundtracks. You did the soundtracks to Night of the Comet, Love Lives On, Teen Wolf, St. Elmo's Fire, Square Dance, Lion of America, K-9, and One Life to Live, and so on with your husband, Michael. But was that beautiful face ever in front of the camera, or were you always like Jackie, being behind the camera with the music?
I was always behind the camera. Now, I did a song, I'm trying to think of the name of it, with Chris Farren, Learn to Love Again, or I know that's one of the main lines in the song, but we did a video, and I was pregnant with Dylan, and I had miscarried a couple of times, so the doctor didn't want me going very far, so they brought the film crew up to me, basically, and we did a video on that, but that's the only time that I did anything like that.
Well, I just think it was great. In fact, I'm going to go. I've got it on DVD. I'm going to watch it again. Just the part for that. It was one of my favorite. Call me crazy, but that was just one of the greatest movies. And my wife won't even watch the end of it. She just thinks it's just absolutely too violent. So
I can't. I know. I have trouble with parts of it.
Yeah,
but
I can't watch that.
I love the actors.
Yeah, I can't watch that movie. Nor can I watch any horror movies. So it shows who wears the pants in this family. And but it's okay with me. Hey, girl, let's talk about. We talked about aforementioned on the last segment. Let's talk about your 2008 release that was produced by Bernie Chiavarelli. And again, Bernie Chiavarelli, an amazing guitarist, songwriter, and has been with the Michael McDonald camp for years. An amazing guitarist. Talk about that album. Do you still, is that still close to your heart? The journey to the Miracle River.
It's very close to me because I had not done an album in I don't know how many years, and Bernie wanted to do it, and it took us a while. I was still having some health challenges, so the album took a while to get it together. Right. But he and I are very proud of that album, and it was the first time I really dove into songwriting. So I co-wrote a lot of the songs on the album. So that was really fun for me.
Yeah, it's really cool. In fact, I actually put the word out. I just emailed him earlier, and also Pat Coyle. They both expressed interest in the show. So I think it's going to be fun to get the secrets and the stories behind working with the two coolest people in the industry. So, and I'm patronizing again. So I've got my fingers crossed that Mr. Coyle is going to do this and such. Hey, girl, let me ask you this question, and I've always asked this kind of a cookie-cutter question for myself. Actually, it's a question that was brought up by Caprice. And we talked about it a little bit before about seeing yourself or hearing yourself on the silver screen. But this is Caprice's question, and people love it. My artists do love it. I want you to think for a second. Put your thinking cap on, and I want you to think about the time, the song, and the location where you were when you first heard yourself on the radio. Do you remember that day?
I was in my car, and the song came on. You mean How Do I Survive, right?
Yes. Or was that well, actually, maybe go back. Is that the first song you heard yourself on the radio for?
Well, She's on Fire I never heard on the radio, to be honest with you. So the first song I ever heard myself on was my first album, and it was How Do I Survive? And I heard it, and I had to pull over. It was just too much. It was way too much. And then I got a tremendous amount of airplay, which was so thrilling, to be in a store or in the car or...
Absolutely.
It just, it went. It got so much airplay, and it was the thrill of a lifetime. It really was.
And I have to agree with you on that because I've said it many times during interviews. My first time I ever heard myself on the radio, oddly enough, was with Michael and Henry on Same World. I was at Fashion
really?
I was at Fashion Island, Newport Beach, parked in front of I Magnin, picking Caprice up from work, and I pulled up, and our dear friend of mine, Talia Trigueros, Talia is the voice on my intro of Jackie's Groove. She's the voice of the Academy Awards, the Golden Globes, and the Grammys, and she's also lending her voice to my show. But she had announced it. She goes, Chris, I don't remember Chris, the program director's name, but it's one of her favorite songs. And she goes, this goes out to a dear friend of mine. She goes, Jackie Bertoni, my friend Henry Capono, and Michael McDonald, who's actually sang the bumpers on 94.7 The Wave years ago, and a song called Same World. And I sat there, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, but I was crying.
I know. It's a beautiful moment.
And I tell young artists, even if it's not your song, but if a song that you played on, I don't care if it's a jingle or whatever it is, you want to stop, you want to roll the windows down, and you want to say, everybody, that's me. They may look at you like you're a wackadoo, but it's a cool thing. And being in the industry as long as I've been, I can be in McDonald's, I could be at the supermarket, I can hear me playing, with the Beach Boys or Brian Wilson, and the like, and it never gets old. As an older guy now, I just kind of sit there and I smile and thankful for what had happened. So that's a cool thing. I'm glad you had a chance to remember that. Some people don't even remember it at all, but 99.9% of the people that I've interviewed do. And with that said, we're alive, honey. We both have faced health challenges, and it's going to take a lot more to take you and myself down. I'm just too damn stubborn.
Now we got 9 lives, baby.
You know what I'm saying? I think I'm on my 7th, but I'm okay. I'm going to elongate the other 2. With that said, I have to ask you a question, girl. Who is the coolest person that you have ever met, that Amy McDonald's ever been in the company of, other than myself, of course? But who is the coolest person you've ever seen?
I was going to say you, so now you're ready to call me.
You can't say Mike. Don't say Mike either.
Oh, gosh, you're right. No. When I got to meet Joni Mitchell, that was really a thrill for me.
Cool.
Because she was such, I was such a fan. I was beyond a fan. So, to be asked to sing on an album, much less be in the presence of her, and she made me so comfortable. And, sometimes when women are around me and my husband, they get a little snarky and, it's like they want me gone. They just want him for themselves. And I understand that. But
that's okay.
She made me feel so comfortable. And she says, would you like to see this book I'm putting together of my artwork? And I own some of her artwork. So I was more than excited to see that. And she was just a real mensch. She was just a great lady.
That's a great word, by the way, too. For those of you who aren't Yiddish, that is that's a homeboy, in the female form. It's a person that you can hang with, and she puts her pant legs in on one at a time, and she proves the fact that she's a humble cat. And speaking of humble, my God, could you be married to more of a humble man than Michael McDonald? And the answer is no.
Yeah.
And so, My sweetheart, I want you to, one more thing. When we come back on the segment number 7, believe it or not, I want you to put in the back of your mind a word called bucket list. I want to ask about a couple things with you on that. So you guys don't go anywhere. We'll be back on segment number 7 with my in-studio guest, the lovely and talented, great vocalist, and moreover, a great woman by the name of Amy Holland. Everybody else, Jackie Bertoni, Jackie's Groove, Intertalk Radio. Guys, don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more segments, so much more to learn about Amy. Don't move a muscle.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page, mozeguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs. Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Welcome to Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Like stained glass. When all is said and done, what else have I but a stained glass and love? And were it not for you, how could this love come shining through?
Simply beautiful. What else can you say about a song like that? And what can you say about my in-studio guest, Miss Amy Holland, that hasn't been said already? I love you, girl. You're amazing.
Aww, you're the best.
I can squeeze your little punum, as they say, over the phone. and it's okay. We're both married, so we know that it's all in love. So
it's all good.
Hey, you know, I want to take a second. I want to brag a little bit. I want to boast, if I may. again, as I said before, because of, artists like yourself that have graced the airways with Jackie Bertoni and Jackie's Groove, I actually was going to come up and I actually was going to play with Henry up at Soho. We talked about that, but something else came up at the last minute, and I'm really, really honored, and I'm going to just tell you a little quick anecdote. I have coming to the Bertoni household on Friday a living legend by the name of Mr. Al Jarreau. I understand. Who's coming. He's playing at Thornton Winery on the 16th, but, in his advanced age, it's too much for him to be doing too much stuff, on the same day. And so he's going to come. He's going to come, and my beautiful gourmet wife is going to cook him a delicious meal of his favorite sole fish and sausage. That's what he's requested, and he's so honored to be here. And somebody had said to me not too long ago, they go, "You seem really, really nervous about that." But, you're interviewing Michael, and Michael's coming up again. And I said, yeah, but I've known Michael since 1990. I consider Michael like my brother. I mean, he's still Michael McDonald, but he's my brother. And the same with Amy Holland. But I'm talking about, Al Jarreau. I mean, Al is a lot older than your husband, and he's been around. And I know Mike loves Al Jarreau. Who doesn't love Al Jarreau? That is a vocal stylist. And I got to extend the word. My wife just sent me a message, and she said, make sure you extend the invitation to, I actually talked to your husband about this when we were sitting on the couch in Newport. I said, well, we have Al Jarreau coming to the house. Cappy's going to be making him a delicious dinner, and we're going to do the interview from the house. So with that said, I said to Michael says, well, we're going to be rolling into town on August the 5th, the day before the show, on the 6th at Thornton Winery with special guest Mr. Michael McDonald. There's a nice little free plug. And Caprice said, to Michael, she goes, I'd love to have you and Amy, because we're literally 10 minutes from the wineries. The wineries in our backyard. And Cappy would love to make a delicious meal for you guys. And also, too, and we have a big, beautiful home. Yes, I am bragging. And we have a beautiful suite in the back of it. And as I told Michael, I said, you're more welcome to spend the night if you want to. And Michael says, my God, anything better than a hotel room, we may take you up on it. So talk to your other half. The doors are wide open, sweetheart. And
you're so sweet. Yeah, that would be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun to just, sit down with a good meal and talk without being pulled upon on all sides. So that is my plea to you. So there it is. Okay, I've satisfied my wife's need. I'm going to bring that
to the table.
Definitely.
Next time I see him.
Before we left on the last segment, this is segment number 7 on Jackie's Groove. Jackie Bertoni, Amy Holland. Amy, thinking cap on right now.
Yes.
Bucket list. Who has Amy always dreamed about singing with, performing with?
Oh, wow. Well,
and why?
I just sang with somebody that blew me away, and that's David Crosby. But I didn't sing with him in the studio. He sang on my record. So I would love to actually sing that song live with him sometime, and David Pack.
Watch what you wish for, girl.
Oh, he's such a wild man, and I just love him so much. We just, we're close, and I love his wife, Jan. And but as far as somebody I have not sung with before, oh my gosh. Well, I'm a mere somebody, but gosh, I'd love to sing with Eric Clapton or well, let's see. I just never think of myself doing that. That's a hard question. I've got my thinking cap on, but I'd like to sing more with my husband. We keep saying, "Oh, we got to practice this tonight." And next thing we know, he's watching Hillbilly Gator Man or something on TV. So we just go into married mode when he's at home. Boy, I wish I had a better answer for you.
It's okay.
I feel like I've done so much more in my life than I have ever dreamed of. I've met more people than I thought. I mean, I just never dreamed I'd meet some of the people I've met.
Right.
And but as far as singing, I'd love to sing live with Joseph Williams. I'd love to do that. He's one of my favorites.
I've got the as members of the Toto coming out. I've got Steve Lukather on board. I got Lenny Castro on board.
I love possibly, all those guys.
Yeah, possibly Leland Sklar coming on. He was on one of our other shows on the network.
He's great.
Yeah, it's just all fun. I mean, I know a lot about these cats. I've grown up with these guys musically, but it's also nice just to be able to sit back with a glass of wine and a cigar and shoot the shit. And that's exactly what my show's all about. And speaking of, your favorites and so on, Is there a favorite song that Michael McDonald sings that Amy Holland absolutely loves to hear?
Well, there's two. There's one that he wrote with David Pack, and I believe it was written for me and probably David's wife. It's called Our Love.
Oh, please.
And that just slays me. And I think we were pretty newly married when that came out. And let's see, what was the other one I just thought of? I'm having a senior moment.
Think
I'm
about
not
it.
senior, but I'm having a senior moment.
But it's so cool. It's so cool. I'm going to jump in here with Our Love. I've been blessed to actually record and play that song with two different artists, Terry Woolman.
Oh, you're kidding.
And also Sam Riney. Both covered the song. And
oh, cool.
Yeah, and it's just funny how it all comes full circle. And Amy, as you're thinking about that second song, I'm going to throw something your way too, and I'm going to kind of just trying to throw it out there. The whole bottom line is we're doing this not for our health, we're doing this to earn a living and so on. But at the same time too, when you get to a certain echelon, you can afford to give away your talents, if you will, at gratis, if you for the lack of a better word. But when Amy Holland gets the opportunity to play around town, and I want to help you out with some of the really cool venues that I'm associated with, especially through Intertalk Radio. I talked about the Music Box in San Diego doing something together with an acoustic evening with Michael McDonald and Henry Capono. Michael loved the idea.
Cool.
Henry's beside himself with that. But I also want to throw it out to you. I would love to play percussion behind Amy Holland.
Ooh, I like that idea.
Yeah, just color, just something just to pepper up the beautiful sounds that you always have there. I love that. And Michael and I have been talking also. It's one of my bucket list thing is to play. I've been in the studio with Michael, but I never had the option and the benefit to play on live on stage. So that's my dream. That's my bucket list. So and
that's
if it's
an easy one.
Yeah, I know that. But if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I mean, we almost did it at the last Thornton show, but our two short Thornton shows. But the thing is, you guys were just breaking in Dan on drums after Miss Prater left, and that was kind of tough. And so we had to say goodnight to that. So my invitation for me to share the stage with you, I would love to. I love your voice, girl, and that's.
Oh, you're so sweet. I would love that.
That's my invitation.
I love the way you play too. So that would be really fun for me.
Okay, so now let's go back to the second song. We've talked about Our Love. What's the second song that you love hearing your boy singing?
Okay, he wrote a song for our daughter Scarlett. It's called When Scarlett Smiles. And it was never recorded. I think it was I think he played it with a symphony.
Honey,
it was on a symphony gig.
I have it on my iTunes. I have it on iTunes.
My gosh.
And that was
gosh.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fathers, and it's called A Lullaby. And
okay.
And it's probably one of the most beautiful tunes ever written. And it's probably as naked as Michael's voice has ever been on a recording. And it's all about that. As I'm talking to you, I'm going through my phone, and it's the name of the album. For those out there, get a pen handy because it's definitely worth it. And it's
I will.
I'm going to put down here When Scarlett Smiles. I'm talking to Sirius. Okay, so it's. Can you hear that?
Yeah. Oh, gosh, I'm going to cry.
Listen to this, people. Listen.
Do I lie? Do I cry? For this precious little while. There we have. When Scarlett smiles. It's like a prayer on the wind.
You heard it here on Jackie's Groove. Is that one of the most beautiful songs, Amy? I mean,
No, I'm drying my tears.
Yeah, and it's from an album called Golden Slumbers.
Okay.
And I'll email you the song. It's
All right.
beautifully
so
done.
sweet.
I owe that to you, sweetheart. So, and again, I owe you guys a plethora of situations just for being allowing me to be part of your legacy and allowing me to be part of the family. That means the world to us. in this business that we're in,
that's the way it is, you know?
It's a big business, but
it's
a big business, but a very small world, and there's a lot of bullshit we have to put up with. But when you find people that are humble and good to each other, you want to levitate to them, and you never want to let them go. So, but I have to let you go on this segment number 7. We're going to finish up segment number 8 on Jackie's Groove. This is Jackie Bertoni. You know it, Jackie Bertoni. Say it 5 times fast. And Amy Holland in studio. So you guys don't go anywhere. We're going to wrap this up on the last segment, 8. To bring my partner in too, ask some questions, and do everything to stalk Amy. So guys, don't go anywhere. Segment 8 coming up, Jackie's Groove. Jackie Bertoni, Intertalk Radio. Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hi, this is Rob Barnett, CEO and founder of VinVillage.com and the Wine and Dine Show on Vin Village Radio. Do you have a wine, event, product, or service to promote? Then contact VinVillage.com to reach thousands of wine lovers across the country. VinVillage connects like-minded wine enthusiasts with unique and exclusive wines, events, products, and services. To learn more, contact us on VinVillage.com. VinVillage is where wine lovers connect.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. MOZEguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Jackie's Groove. Come journey with us through the rhythm of the music business with your host, Jackie Bertoni.
Till all the reasons broke. Holiday from
Yeah, man, I'm celebrating my own holiday today. I'm having an amazing, amazing time with my in-studio guest, the beautifully, how's that bad for bad grammar? Beautiful and lovely Amy Holland, and a song called Holiday off her beautiful CD album called A Light on My Path. Hey, you know what? We're in segment number 8. We're trailing off. And you guys, I have to thank you, the listeners out there, for making Intertalk Radio and Jackie's Groove as successful as it is. We knew we were going to do good, but we had no idea to what level and how fast we were doing it. So again, as I say, please spread the word. Nobody is doing what we're doing. Go on to intertalkradio.com and look at the plethora of shows that we have to offer and the ones that are coming up. It's definitely a potpourri of amazing, eclectic blends of shows. And of course, I'm real biased to the show that I do, Jackie's Groove. So with that said, segment number 8, Amy, it's something that we do. They always say it takes a village. No one's ever done things by themselves. And I got to tell you something. I've got a deep passion and a lot of love for the CEO of our corporation. Not only is he's my boss, but he's actually a dear friend of mine. I feel like we've gone back years. He brought this show to my attention. He made it available. And I know it's scratch my back, scratch yours, but we're really, really enjoying it immensely. And because of him, because of artists like you and Michael and everybody else, we're only going to get stronger and stronger and stronger. And with that said, he is a big fan. And you met Florentino. You met him in Newport Beach. Right. My crazy Filipino and the CEO of the company. So with that said, Amy, once again, please say hi to Florentino. And Florentino, please say hi to Amy and do your job, please.
Hey, Amy,
hi,
how are you doing?
Are you there?
Oh, I'm in San Diego. Jackie's over at his studio, and I'm loving this music, girl, because really, if Jackie was here, we'd be holding hands right now.
Absolutely.
I'd love a picture of that, but thank you. That's really sweet.
I don't think anybody else would. You're probably the only one.
Exactly.
No, the new album, everything is just, it's amazing. We had such a great time with you and your husband. It was just, you're such warm and inviting people, and we really appreciate you, taking the time today. And your folks over at your PR company are just, they're amazing as well. And
Joanne Geffen.
Yep, Joanne Geffen. And let's do a little PR. Let's let people know how they can find out more about Amy Holland and all your music. Obviously, iTunes is where we got your album. But what else how else can people find you?
Well, you can get it at CD Baby, and that's for people that like the artwork. Heather Picaro, who is Steve Picaro's daughter, did the album art for me. She took the photos and we just connected. She's precious. She's just a precious spirit. And Steve's a real dear friend of mine and love his new record. I don't know if you've heard it, but if you haven't, hear it. It's amazing. But, I like it. I still like getting album art. And so if you buy the CD, you get a 14-page booklet with it and Heather's artwork, and it's really nice.
Yeah, and I think what Jackie was saying earlier, I think a lot of that's coming back, especially with albums and continuity with albums. And that's one of the things I've noticed about your album is that it really, from start to finish, it's a flow, and it really kind of takes you on a journey. So.
Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Thanks.
Amy, I want to jump in here real quick also to, there's certain perks about being in this industry, getting great seats, getting free passes and VIP, et cetera, yada, yada, yada. But I'm proud to say that I actually bought your CD. And as I told you, yeah. Well, honey, please. I mean, I am the person that goes out there. Florentino's the same way. We're both musicians, so we know what the struggle is, and the struggle's real. So I'm proud to say that, we definitely purchased the situation. So, Tina, go ahead. I'm sorry for interrupting you there, Bo.
No worries. I think that it's, it's really good. And then, do we get we got the CD Baby. Do we get your website and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, it's amyhollandmusic.com.
Yeah, great website.
That's my web page. Yeah.
And then that's where we got your signature. That was pretty cool. We were able to put that on our
I love the graphic. The graphic.
I
by the way,
I love that.
Well, you're talking to the man. You're talking to the CEO who also does all the graphics in the company also. So you can thank him for that.
I also,
thank you.
I clean the restrooms. I do all that fun stuff. We all have to wear a lot of hats here. We're small, but very big-hearted company.
It's wonderful. I'm so happy you're doing it.
Well, we definitely we do what we can. We really want to see effectual change in this industry. We want to shed light on artists like yourself and obviously players that have been doing it. to keep the fuel and the fire alive within the heart of music. So that's the purpose and reason behind this, and being able to share back to the community of all of the musicians, our friends, and everybody that are here. So,
well, it's a great gift. Thank you.
And Amy, also too, you mentioned the fact about Picaro. The name Picaro is always near and dear to our hearts. On the album with Henry Capono and Michael McDonald, we did have Mike Picaro, God rest his soul, and Steve and Jeff Picaro on the album. Two brothers that we've lost way too early.
Oh wow, I didn't realize they were both on it. Wow.
Yeah, and Michael played bass, and Steve wasn't on it, but and then Jeff played drums. So that was that was my main voyage into the big leagues, and to have an album, to be on an album with Tower Power Horns, Third World, Michael McDonald, Jimmy Fadden, Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. I got my wet fast, and and that's what I go to. And Tino, also too, did we ask Miss Holland with regards to your? We got the URL. But Amy, let's talk about Facebook. I know there's Amy Holland, but does Amy Holland have a fan page?
There is. Now, it's confusing. We're sort of in the process of changing it, but it's right now, I think it's Amy Holland McDonald. And we were trying to get it just down to Holland because that's how people know me, Right. I mean, they also know me now as McDonald, but, I think it's still Amy Holland McDonald, but it might be getting changed to Amy Holland Music or Amy Holland. It was, believe it or not, the name was taken when I went for it. So there's somebody out there impersonating me. Or maybe I'm impersonating them. I don't know.
Oh, I just got a text from your husband, by the way.
You did?
Look out for her. She's dangerously psychotic. I should know. Now, that's the truth. He just sent that to me just now, so...
oh my gosh, I love that man. He just knows me so well.
I'm going to screenshot shoot this for you, so you know that I'm not lying. So
yeah,
that's hysterical. That is absolutely
sounds
hysterical.
Like something he would say. But he comes home to me. 36 years he's been coming home. So
and he knows where his bread is, but he knows where his bread is buttered. You know that.
That's
hey, girl.
right. He knows who runs the ship.
Hey, sweetheart, I want to say thank you very much. We're down to our last 45 seconds. Again, we can go probably another 5 hours. Everybody, please do yourselves a favor, your heart, your soul, your ears, and go pick up everything that you can musically with Amy Holland. She's an amazing artist. You guys, we've got to push this album. We've got to bring it to the limelight. We've got to get the shit off the radio, and we've got to bring the good-smelling music back where it belongs. So with that said, everybody, I want everybody to say thank you and say goodbye to my in-studio guest, the lovely, the talented, the amazing singer, Miss Amy Holland McDonald. And we'll be talking soon. Amy, I'll call you offline. I'll get you everything set up at Soho with Henry. He's going to be amazing. He's going to love to see you. And,
be great.
And thank you, my love, for joining us and gracing our stage. And everybody else, check out some great shows coming up and everything that's got to do with Inner Talk Radio. Really God bless you, sweetheart. Thank you, everybody. And say goodbye to Amy Holland. Peace through music, everybody. Bye-bye.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Intertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Hey, it's Catherine from Listen Local Radio. Moe's Guitars has proudly served the San Diego music community since 1975. Specializing in guitars, basses, mandolins, banjos, and ukuleles, they buy, sell, trade, and consign. If you're looking for lessons, repairs, accessories, and cool gear, you found the right place. Located in downtown La Mesa Village, stop by and check out their digs or visit moesguitars.com or their Facebook page. MOZEguitars.com, 619-698-1185.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to record on a Grammy award-winning album? Have you ever wondered what it's like to play in front of a stadium crowd? Have you ever wondered what it's like to be on a world tour? I'm Jackie Bertoni, and I've played with the who's who in the music industry, and I've toured the world. Come join my world, behind the velvet rope, and get into the groove on Jackie's Groove. Live 2 p.m. Mondays and available 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear, host of Sound Experience here on Intertalk Radio. And Source Connect by Source Element is the essential tool that we use to link between my studio in Austin, Texas, and the WS radio station in San Diego. Now, with Source Connect, not only can we communicate in real time and with HD audio, but it's synced up and is of a high enough quality that I can use it for real-time ADR work, remote recording, and overdubbing, and it even allows me to remotely control a DAW. Source Connect by Source Element, affordable, high-quality audio and video connection over the internet for all of your production needs.
Which sandwich is healthy and tasty? Which sandwich can come on bread or in a bowl? Which sandwich comes 51 different ways, so it's always your way? A which sandwich. Stop into our shop in Hazard Center. We're upstairs from the Hazard Center Digiplex. Bring in your movie ticket. We will add a free drink and chips to your sandwich order. Or order online at which.com, and we will have it ready and waiting. WHICH, WICH. Which.com.